Support us by subscribing, ring the notification bell, press all, and thumbs up. Thank you. Good evening, friends. The border wall in the south continues to be built. Here are some updates. Here are some shots of the Tucson 2 project from early February 2020. The Tucson 2 project spans 5 miles, near Lukeville, Arizona. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, South Pacific Border District, is providing contracting services, including design and construction oversight, of Department of Defense-funded, Southwest border barrier projects. The projects are taking place in California, Arizona, New Mexico and Texas at the direction of the administration, and at the request of Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection. Lawmakers from both parties told Pentagon leaders on Wednesday that the Defense Department is undermining its own efforts to get military money by diverting billions of dollars for the construction of President Donald Trump's U.S.-Mexico border wall. The chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, and the committee's top Republican, warned Defense Secretary Mark Esper that overturning congressional funding decisions to shift money for the wall is an enormous problem that will have consequences. The plan to shift money has triggered rare Republican opposition to one of Trump's priorities. Representative Mac Thornberry, from Texas, said the result may be that Congress will place greater restrictions on the Pentagon's ability to move money around to meet military needs. The chairman, Democratic Representative Adam Smith of Washington, said the money transfer is very damaging to the Pentagon. The message it sends is the Pentagon has plenty of money, said Smith, adding that it undercuts any arguments for any need for resources. The Pentagon announced this month that it was slashing billions of dollars in funding for Navy and Air Force aircraft and other military programs to free up money for the construction of the wall. Esper approved the $3.8 billion border wall request from the Department of Homeland Security, and the Pentagon acknowledged that more cuts could be coming to provide additional dollars for the wall. Trump has repeatedly claimed that Mexico is paying for his promised big beautiful wall, but that has never happened. The Pentagon's decision, announced in reprogramming documents provided to lawmakers, stripped money from major aircraft and procurement programs that touch Republican and Democratic districts and states. Despite congressional opposition, Trump faced no consequences when making similar transfers last year, when the Pentagon canceled dozens of military construction projects to free up $3.6 billion and transferred $2.5 billion in counter-drug money. Altogether, President Trump has obtained just over $3 billion for border barrier construction by working through regular congressional channels, subject to limitations imposed by lawmakers. He has used various transfer and emergency authorities to shift almost $7 billion more from the emergency declaration, from a forfeiture fund containing money seized by law enforcement and from funding for military counter-drug activities. Specifically, the plan targets money for more than a dozen aircraft, including 2 F-35 fighters sought by Texas Representative Kay Granger, the top Republican on the House Appropriations Committee, and other members of the Texas congressional delegation. It also cuts money for 8 Reaper drones, 4 Air Force C-130 transport aircraft, 2 Marine V-22 Osprey helicopters, and also for amphibious ships, National Guard equipment and Army trucks. In other border wall news, the American Civil Liberties Union and Sierra Club are suing the Trump administration for allegedly violating the Constitution by diverting an additional $3.8 billion in military funds to his planned U.S. border wall with Mexico. Filed Friday in federal court in San Francisco, the suit says the administration illegally bypassed Congress when President Donald Trump tapped money earmarked for weapons systems and other military expenditures. It claims the construction will also have devastating effects on the environment, according to the complaint. The suit was filed in federal court in San Francisco, the same court that last year repeatedly found Trump's initial transfer of over $6 billion in military funds for the wall was unlawful. Multiple courts have ruled that President Donald Trump has no authority to spend billions of dollars appropriated for the military to carry out his campaign promise to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border, the complaint says. Rather than abide by these decisions, President Trump has doubled down on diverting military funds to border wall construction. The president notched a win in July, However, when the Supreme Court said he could use some military funds, even while lawsuits made their way through the legal system. Just yesterday, a federal judge in Seattle barred the government from diverting $89 million to the wall from a construction project at a submarine base in Washington state. The diversion of funds intended for military has attracted criticism on both sides of the aisle. Trump and his Republican allies have argued that a border wall with Mexico is urgently needed to stem the flow of tens of thousands of undocumented immigrants entering the country illegally from Central and South America. The administration has argued the illegals are a drain on taxpayer resources and a threat to public safety. Especially with the coronavirus outbreak worldwide, the threat has gone up at the border. But the main problem is that the Congress has largely refused to fund Trump's wall at the level necessary to construct even a substantial portion of it. Democrats have called the wall a waste of money and a symbol of the president's negative view of immigrants. Congress's 2020 appropriations bill, which Trump signed into law in December, included $1.37 billion for the wall project, the same amount Congress approved in 2019, and far less than the president requested, according to the complaint. Despite that limitation, Defense Secretary Mark Esper on February 13 said the Pentagon would divert $3.8 billion in 2020 military funds to the wall, the suit says. The same day, Trump extended the national emergency he declared last year to circumvent Congress. Gloria Smith, a lawyer for the Oakland, California-based Sierra Club, said in a statement, "The destruction of cultural sites, tribal burial grounds, endangered species, protected cacti, and water resources shows that Trump will stop at nothing for this wall, not irreplaceable resources nor the Constitution." It is worth noting, the Supreme Court ruled last year that the administration could start using military funds for construction at the border, overturning a prior ruling that halted the use of those funds while litigation continues. So far, well over 100 miles have been built or replaced. Crews are working overtime, sometimes at night as well. The length of the entire U.S.-Mexico border is about 1,954 miles. That includes a variety of terrains, including urban areas and deserts. Anyways, we will have to wait and see what 2020 and beyond has in store for America's border wall. Thanks for watching, and remember, peace through strength.